the only multicultural IPTV station that brings communities together. Over 2.7 million people have already watched. Go Live TV, anytime, anywhere.
Welcome to Maple and Mezcal Real Estate Insights. My name is Brenda Soriano Rubio and I'm a real estate agent. Today we're going to talk about the announced by the Bank of Canada about the recent interest rate cut, how it's going to impact the real estate market, and we're going to break down what it means for homeowners, home buyers, and the overall economy. And for all that, we have our expert, Alejandro Libaque. Welcome,
Thank you so much. Thank you for the invitation, Brenda. It's been a pleasure being with you, working with you as well. I look forward to answering any of your questions, any from the audience as well.
So the main question is, what is an interest rate cut and why the Bank of Canada implemented?
So the Bank of Canada's main mandate is to control inflation. It's not so much the economy, it's not so much housing, it's more than anything inflation. And over COVID, the pandemic, and after that, we saw that inflation went up to historical levels. So the main tool that the Bank of Canada has to control inflation is to increase rates. That's going to put a break in the spending habits of Canadians, and that's what we've seen that since March of 2022, we've seen increases, over 10 increases that went from the Bank of Canada's rate of 0.25 all the way to 5%. And back in June, at the beginning of June, we saw the first cut of 25 basis points.
What is the next rate cut?
The next rate cut is going to be in the second week of July. Everyone's very excited to see what the Bank of Canada is doing. It's honestly a coin toss. People are saying that they might just wait to see how the market is reacting. It's a lot of people and a lot of economists are saying that it might be another cut. The thing is, when interest rate cuts are coming down, that also incentivizes the economy and the shopping behaviors of people. So that can also have an adverse reaction in the economy, right? So what the Bank of Canada wants to see is how the market is reacting to the first rate cut before they go ahead with more to incentivize the economy.
Yeah, because we're seeing more purchasing power right now, like more buyers are going out into the market. I think it's more meaningful, this rate cut, because this is the push they needed to go out into the market. But this is just the beginning, I think.
Absolutely, yes. This is just the beginning. I mean, for interest rate cuts to really make an impact in the economy, we saw that whenever they were increasing the rate, they were telling us that it's going to take between 12 to 18 months to start seeing the effects of that. And usually to see the effects of a rate cut, you'll be waiting between 8 to 12 months. So we're not going to see an increase right away in the economy or the GDP overnight. This is, like you said, it was more significant. It was more psychological for a lot of people, right? Like it sends the right signal for shoppers, for anyone that was waiting on the sidelines. And we saw that people were, like we've seen the rate or the price decreases in homes, right? Like we're seeing that qualified demand is a little bit restricted. And as soon as the Bank of Canada dropped that interest rate cut, a lot of buyers were, like, this is my time. Because as soon as interest rates go down farther, prices might go up too.
Yeah, so what do you think? They should wait, or this is the right time to purchase a house?
It's one of the main questions that people will ask me. Just like realtors will get, like, is this the right time to buy or sell? Like, I will get the question of, is this the right time to buy? Because people want to see their purchasing power. I always tell them, before COVID, no one really asked questions about the Bank of Canada, right? Like, you make decisions for you, for your family, for your plans. We always take or make decisions based on our own financial situation, not because of what's happening outside. And we are overexposed to everything: real estate, interest rates, Bank of Canada. I would say take a look at your situation. If you can afford it, go for it. If you wait for prices to go up, it's going to be harder to qualify. And there are a lot of people that are waiting on the sidelines, and they'll realize, like, I should have bought 2 months ago. I should have bought 2 years ago. So if you have the ability to qualify for that mortgage, 100% go for it.
So now let's break down what it means for homeowners and home buyers. For home buyers mean lower rates, more purchasing power, and with cheaper loans, they will be able to afford more expensive properties. Or if they want, they can lower their monthly payment. For homeowners, the ones with variable rate, they will have automatically lower monthly payments. But the ones with fixed rates, they don't have any change till they refinance their mortgage, right?
Correct. So we're seeing that a lot of people that have a fixed rate, they're not seeing the impact of the interest rates while they're on the fixed rate term, but rather when they're renewing their mortgage, correct? So we're seeing that there is an increase of between 30 to 40% in the mortgage payments. Now, for a lot of people that were qualified under the stress test that was introduced back in 2018, their payments are actually within their affordability. But when everything else is expensive, it feels like you can't really afford it. So the option that a lot of people have is they're either re-amortizing their mortgage. It's meant to be something very temporary. So you're not stuck with a 25 or a 30-year amortization going forward. It's really just to calculate your payments and to help your cash flow. So you have the option of re-amortizing. You have the option of looking for other lenders, so you're not stuck with your lender either. And you'll notice in the charts that we have here, like it's a long-term projection, how interest rates will affect inflation. That encounter of high inflation with high interest rates, it will have an adverse reaction. So if you're making a decision based on the next 2 to 3 years, I would say take a look at your finances right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A lot of my customers, like, you don't know how much you can afford if you don't actually go and talk to an
Absolutely.
expert. And the best one, obviously, it's Alejandro Libaque for that. And I have another question. For example, with the rate cut in place, what can Canadians expect in terms of borrowing cost?
So what you were saying was very interesting, like how people that have a variable rate mortgage will see a difference on their payments. Now there's two types of variable rates. One of the variable rates is the one that changes with the payments. Another one is where your payments stay fixed. So people that will have adjustable variable rate payments, you're gonna see a difference of about $12 to $13 for every $100,000 in mortgage debt. Now, what people are choosing because of the variable rate being higher is fixed rates. So fixed rates right now are sitting around 5%. Variable rates are about 1% higher. So a lot of people are being pushed towards the fixed rates. What it means in terms of borrowing capacity, borrowing with a variable rate upfront will be more expensive than borrowing with a fixed rate.
Yeah, because everyone wants to refinance.
Exactly, yeah. So variable rate does give you the flexibility for certain things. Like you have just a 3-month penalty when it comes to breaking your mortgage. People that have shorter plans, like doing a renovation and refinancing with the added appreciation. Maybe you have a plan of moving homes in the next year or so. You don't want to be stuck with a 3 or 5 year fixed rate because the penalties will be higher. But with a variable rate, you have a little bit more flexibility. You just have to be mindful that up front, you're going to be paying more. Sure, you will take advantage of rate cuts as they come, but you're not going to see that difference right off the bat.
So what can people can contact you? Like, what is your information, Alejandro?
You can find me on social media under mortgage_time. You can also find me through my email at alejandro.libac@migroup.ca and by phone or WhatsApp at 647-838-7214. Thank you. Thank you so much for the invitation, Brenda.
Thank you.